Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now in this video, I'm going to show you two scenarios that can actually play out around XRP. And either scenario will make you very rich in the future. So let's take a look. The chosen one, the most powerful family in the world, involves with Ripple, the Rothschild family. And they do that through SBI, which owns an 8.7% stake in Ripple's XRP. Now, remember when you first invested in crypto, you really didn't know much about it, but then as you started learning about what you're holding, knowing what you hold, you realize you're investing in what the elites are investing in. That's why I always said XRP is going to make a lot of people very rich in the future. But let's start with this scenario. Cashless society. Millions of people, in particularly elderly people who aren't online, are dependent on cash. The digitalization of everything and a cashless society risks cutting off many individuals from fully participating in society. Now, they always talk about the elderly people, but I think elderly people today are much smarter than most people think. They're starting to get involved with technology more and more, most likely through their grandchildren or their children. But a cashless society is eventually going to happen. It's already getting pushed through all around the world right now. Look what's going on in Australia.
We've taken another step towards a cashless society. A big bank has confirmed customers in some locations can no longer withdraw money over the counter as branches continue to wind back services.
It's up there with the pub with no beer, the bank with no cash. ANZ has confirmed some branches no longer handle cash at the counter. Others are directing customers to smart ATMs for cash transactions. ANZ says only 8% of its customers rely solely on branches. NAB says for its customers, it's only 3%. The number of bank branches nationally dropped 30% in major cities over 5 years, from more than 3,000 to around 2,300.
So ask yourself this, how are we getting to a cashless society? It's because most people already stopped using cash a long time ago. But it's not just Australia. It's also the Ukraine. And the Ukraine is working as a testing ground for even the United States around digital IDs and cashless society. Take a listen.
Using DIA, that's what proves it.
Yeah, and DIA, of course, is the first of its kind digital identity platform being used by government to provide government services.
So we started actually working before the war on the notion of a pilot program with respect to a large bank in Ukraine, Tascom Bank, on developing the e-hryvnia. We actually provide the technology layer that they build on. Like, we've been working with them, but the teams there have worked through the war to be able to make this happen. Actually, at the time when we met in the period in 2021, they were very focused on moving to a cashless society and on bringing in as much technology into Ukraine as possible.
But the United States and everyone else is using that like the testing ground. That's why I think we're sending so much money over there right now. But even here, right at home, we're already testing for a digital dollar. Digital Dollar Project completes U.S. CBDC pilot. The Digital Dollar Project, in partnership with the Western Union and BDO Unibank, has successfully completed a pilot study of remittance payments to the Philippines using a simulated retail central bank digital currency. Now, XRP is not a central bank digital currency. It's not a CBDC. However, XRP can be used to bridge from one CBDC to another. And inside of a CBDC is the RippleNet technology as well, in a lot of them. So the managing director of Bay Hill Capital predicted XRP could be worth between $10,000 to $35,000 per coin. Multiple countries have already begun building their CBDC on the XRP ledger. Take a listen to this.
The wild card to me is that there is actually a deal to be done among the central banks and governments to basically have XRP work as the world's bridge currency, a neutral asset that could be traded between the central banks to move a specific type of fiat to another type of fiat. If that's what occurs, it's back to what we were discussing earlier. It's got to cover kind of all the money. And I think you're looking at a range that XRP would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000.
See, the problem with the buyback for me is this. Right now, all these central banks all around the world can be buying up XRP well under $1 right now. So why would they ever do a buyback in the future? Plus, you got to remember, a lot of people are going to sell along the way. There's going to be people selling XRP at $10, $20, $30, and so on. So they could just buy it up then for much cheaper prices. That's why the buyback never made sense to me. But let's get back to XRP being used as a world's bridge, like to move currencies from one country to another, a trust layer. I think then XRP can hit those high prices in the future. And we already know Ripple has 5 live CBDC projects right now. Palau, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Montenegro, Colombia, and Bhutan. Plus, they're working on other CBDCs as well. Like I said, they will provide the technology layer. Later, XRP will move the money. CBDC cryptos are coming, so I have allocated a percentage of my portfolio to those that are ISO 222 compliant. This is a global banking standard that will come into effect by 2025. I'm getting in early and holding until then. Not financial advice. So, when I talked about ISO in the past, I always said it's very important to pay attention to those cryptocurrencies. A lot of people along the way lost interest in these cryptocurrencies. They figured the flip of the switch moment was going to happen the day ISO went live. And because that didn't happen, they got out of them. But if you were smart enough to continue holding, you realize that value from ISO is going to come later. And I think it's going to start to happen long before 2025. Why XRP acting as a bridge currency could trigger massive price growth. So we see here, XRP, known for its digital payment protocol more than its cryptocurrency, has taken a new role that has the crypto community buzzing. Acting as a bridge currency to other currencies, it has positioned itself uniquely within the financial landscape. This bridge function means that XRP does not discriminate between one fiat or cryptocurrency and another. It acts as a connecting agent, seamlessly linking different forms of currency. Like I said, if that scenario was to play out perfectly, I could see XRP surpassing $1,000 very fast, based on actual use case being utilized all around the world. And yet people are still focused on market cap and previous cycles. But then there's this scenario, and this scenario looks like it could also very well happen. David Schwartz, the success scenario is a currency no one controls. If the choice is no boss, and that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they're going to see that as a much of a minus. 2 world reserve currencies can exist at the same time. Now think about it. We have the BRICS countries. They no longer want to use SWIFT. Most likely they will choose to use RippleNet and XRP. They also are trying to devalue the US dollar. They want to get away from the US dollar as quick as possible. This is 100+ countries pushing in this direction. So all of a sudden, maybe you have 2 global reserve currencies at the same time. You have the US fiat currency, paper dollar, And then you have XRP running as a world's reserve currency at the same time. And that still makes sense with what I was thinking all along. Even if we were to have CBDCs pop up all around the world, I still think for a period of time, we are going to have paper money and digital money until people fully move over to the digital side of money. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has discussed the threat of de-dollarization and the risk of the United States dollar losing its world's reserve currency status. So how far off is that scenario actually? Think about it. When you see Jerome Powell talking about de-dollarization, the Treasury, Janet Yellen, talking about de-dollarization, preparing for China and all these other countries to send U.S. dollars back to the U.S., causing hyperinflation as well. The U.S. dollar will lose value so fast. People don't realize the impact of that scenario. People don't realize once hyperinflation sits in, that's it. And once the U.S. dollar starts to tumble in value, crypto and the stock market will take off at the same time. So like I said, I could still see XRP playing out as the world's reserve currency also. So what would the value of XRP be then, based on actual utility and use case? I think at that point, we'd be looking at a much higher priced XRP. I'm talking we could most likely break $10,000 if that was to happen. So I don't think Jimmy Valley was too far off in his prediction. I just think the idea of a buyback happening doesn't make sense to me because you could buy XRP so cheap right now. Wow, the Phoenix is rising. It's a breathtaking sight. That signifies a powerful transformation. Remember, when you hear about it, it's already too late to turn away. Embrace the opportunity for growth and embrace the fires of change. You know, the current financial system is going to fall. It's just a matter of time. They're pushing for it to happen. You know, you see banks consolidating. You see people talking about sending money all over the world. You know, while we, right here at home in the U.S., we have homeless people lining up our streets, and they can't stop spending money. $33 trillion in debt, and still wanting to spend more. So once the current financial system collapses out, I think that's when we will see XRP, the Phoenix, rise from the ashes. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments section down below, because I really can see one or the other of these two scenarios playing out in the future. That's why I always said it's so important that you keep holding your XRP. Hold on to it for dear life, because it is going to change your life forever. You will see money like you've never seen before come from this cryptocurrency. With that said, let's get rich together. I'm going to wrap this one up. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.